So and then that bit in the movie when they're just like, it says it's Mario, but it's not really Mario. You know what I mean?
Hang on a second. There's a knock at the door. Who is it?
It's me, Mario.
Plumber alert! Plumber alert! Hey there, Cinema Nuts, and welcome back to No Country for Old Films. I'm Regs, and he's Tommy.
Hello, hello.
And today, we are just two plumbers just jumping through dimensional portals and fucking making yippies. And I'm definitely Mario, and you're definitely Luigi because of the mustache.
I'll be John Leguizamo all day. And in an age where your favorite cult video game movie has been remade into some animated fodder for kids, yuck.
Yeah, yuck to the sound of $1 billion, dude. Come on.
Nostalgia is king, and all the cinema complexes are gone. We're here to talk about the movies that shaped us as kids and shaped Nintendo's willingness to create feature-length films. Regs, you excited to talk about this movie, mate?
I haven't rewatched this since a long time, and I'm normally a super positive dude.
Oh, you are the positive one.
Yeah, absolutely. This is rubbish. It's absolute garbage. Like, it has the only reason it even kind of works is because of the lead's charisma, and that's it.
Cheeky bingo card for you all. Watch out for the words bizarre, garbage, and absolute nonsense. On with the nerdy nonsense, mate.
On with the show.
Alien species escaping.
Picture this, Regan. Picture this in your mind brain, if you will. The year is 1993 of our Lord King Koopa. Schindler's List wins Best Picture, proving that cinema can be devastating and still sweep the Oscars. Jurassic Park stomps into theaters and proves that CGI is right here, right now. Right here, right now. The World Wide Web goes public and no one quite realizes its potential, except for David Bowie. Look out for that interview. That's a fascinating interview. Beanie Babies launch and soft toys become a speculative investment strategy. Groundhog Day asks the question, will the day stay the same forever? Will the day stay forever? Well, it doesn't, because he says the same thing over and over again. And somewhere out there, a film about a fever dream on mushrooms becomes a movie about plumbers, with the writers clearly taking more mushrooms than the people on set. And we are talking this week about the Super Mario Bros. 1993 movie. I have a lot of things to say about this movie, Regan. I have so many things to say.
You should.
Like you, I hadn't watched this back in a long time, but I was doing my research in the background, and I found out that this was directed, somewhat written by a married couple. It was Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton, who apparently had... let's say more ambition.
Rocky Morton sounds like he should have been a fucking wrestler.
Doesn't he? Doesn't he just? It sounds like they had more arrogance than they did actual talent, which
100%.
Which says a lot. And I don't know if I did the quick maths, but it was 26 years before Nintendo allowed them to make anyone to make any feature-length version of any of their films after this. The next one was Detective Pikachu. Can you believe that?
Yeah, right. And that's only like, it's not like Nintendo invented Pokemon either. No. Like, it's just acquired the rights to it. Yeah. There was a couple of good cartoon series. Like, there was the Captain N or whatever, and Mario Brothers had a cartoon series that was bookended by two live action dudes playing Mario and Luigi, who would have been better fucking cast than Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, even though I love them both.
They are great peoples. I have two quick questions for you before we start talking about this. First one, who is this movie for? And second one, this to me feels like a completely different script that they've just slapped Mario and Luigi on. If this had a totally different title, as in not called Super Mario Bros., called, I don't know, one creepy plumber and one more creepy plumber try and hook up with a lizard. I don't know, call it what you want. How far do you think you would get into this movie? Genuinely, like, how far do you get it?
Just to go back on one of your comments there, she's not a lizard. she's she's birthed from an egg, but her dad's a mushroom. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And am I high? Like, isn't the princess in the Mario games Princess Peach?
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck's Daisy coming from?
Character as well. Daisy's character as well.
Is she? Oh, okay.
There's a question for you.
Yeah.
If it's half and half, is it like a mermaid? Is it like half of her's a lizard and half of her's not? Like, how does that work?
Which way round would you like to do that?
Which way round?
Which way round? Which way round? To answer your question, I feel like if they were to put Kurt Russell in this movie with some sidekick, whatever, and it was directed by John Carpenter, great movie. But no, like, take away the Mario Brothers part of it and just keep all of the other stuff. You know what I mean? It'd be like a kid's version of fucking... plumbing? Yeah. They could still be plumbers. That doesn't bother me at all.
Kurt Russell as a plumber, it just does not sound right to me.
Kurt Russell as plumber, and that's what it is.
Plumber man.
Plumber man.
I mean, I got to say, it's been a long time since I've watched this movie too. And I mean, we're talking years, maybe even from when I was a kid. And truly, the first note I had for this from the so when I watch back these movies, little peek behind the curtain, I try not to be on a device.
It'd be good if you just showed a nipple then.
Except for writing quick notes. And the first note of the whole thing is just, this is so bizarre. Just like hands down. It's so strange. And I wonder if in some ways it sort of reflects video games at the time. Like if you think about it now, like you watch, I don't know, I play a lot of like PlayStation. So if you talk about like God of War, which has a release coming out soon, or like Tomb Raider, or like you pick a franchise, they're like 60+ hour games where so much of it is like cinematic content with like big fight scenes and, things that you can turn into a movie. Whereas this was just like, yeah, I guess sort of maybe try and save the princess.
Yeah.
you don't have much else to go on. So you think maybe it reflects that time where they're just like, fuck, I don't know, just do whatever you want.
I mean, but there's a through line to most of it, and there's you've got archetypal characters. It's just bizarre that this is where they ended up. Like, who fucking okayed this? Like, who signed off?
Nobody.
On this shit.
Nintendo just kind of went, go and play, enjoy yourselves.
And they obviously did. But you asked before, and I'm hesitant to answer in the way that I wanted to answer, considering the conversation we just had about your mum watching some of the reels and thinking I'm a stone cold pervert. Which, Mrs. Tommy, I'm absolutely not. This is all for comedy purposes. This movie is for fetishists.
You are.
That I can't. It's too late. That ship has sailed, motherfucker. Like I am. This is what's happening forever now. All this is going to happen is get grayer and older.
I think. Yeah, I know. I said this to you before, but I think she thinks I'm a pervert who influences you to be more perverted. So it's on me. Like, don't you have to worry about yourself? It's all on this guy.
That's
you're
fine.
Right. It's a BDSM Blade Runner nightmare. Like, I don't know. I could imagine Denis Villeneuve remaking this in 2027 and doing an incredible job. Do you know what I mean?
We're going to do Super Mario. It's going to be beautiful. That's not his accent.
Oh, he's French though, isn't he? Yeah.
He's French Canadian. Yeah, close enough, whatever.
It's French.
We're going to remake some Mario Brothers. It's going to be good.
What is that accent?
I don't know. It's Bon Voyage, basically.
It's close enough. But this has got serious actors in it. Like Bob Hoskins, you mentioned, R.I.P. It was originally offered to Danny DeVito, John Leguizamo, who, honestly, I can't spell his name, but such is life. Apparently that role was offered to Tom Hanks as well, before he went on the run of all runs of movies. And every child's favorite movie star, Dennis Hopper. Why wouldn't you have Dennis Hopper in, who every 4 to 6 year old knows who plays Super Mario at the time? Like
that's such a great observation, man. Like the dude was like known for like Apocalypse Now, Blue Velvet, like
right. Like he's just not,
excellent.
And he's like chewing scenery like a motherfucker in this as well. It's phenomenal. We will talk about him in a moment, but like, what is your earliest movie of this?
Memory.
Yeah.
You said earliest movie. My earliest movie
of this memory.
It was huge.
It's like a fever dream. I can't help myself.
I was just coming. I was just coming, and all the time, just coming all the time. It was fabulous. No, I was just coming into. I would have been going into high school, but it was maybe grade 5, grade 6 when this came out. And
1993.
It was massive. Like I had toys. Like I had Mario and Luigi toys and they had the boots and everything. And that's what I remember more than the movie. Like I don't even think the movie penetrated that much. It was just like, you know what I mean? You're not into my mind space, not my bum space.
You're talking about coming and then penetrating. I don't know where we're going. It's me, Mum. I'm sorry.
Tommy's mum. I can't even... what's the lady's name? You don't have to tell me that on the internet. Rose. Dear Rose. You poor thing. My mum's not on the internet, so
she's definitely
safe.
stopped listening to this by this point, so don't worry about it.
But great.
It's interesting
she's not going to listen to it. She's I fucking hate that movie. Click.
I mean, nobody likes this movie, and I know it's got a bit of a cult following these days, but
it just came out on 4K. Like it's got a 4K release. Like what the fuck?
For who?
Arrow.
I tell you what
guys.
I tell you what I find really interesting about this is I must have seen this on rental, and like you, I don't necessarily remember it. So I would have been 6-ish when this came out. So I wouldn't have gone to the cinema to see it. I was too young to see this. Even like I would have seen Terminator before I saw this. This is just weird. At least Terminator is like a coherent movie. But so I was talking to last night. I was talking to my brother about this last night. I was like, "Hey, we're talking about Super Mario Bros." In fact, it came up from him because he's taking my nephew to see the new Super Mario Brothers film, which has come out.
Everyone in the world's going,
Galaxy, whatever. Right, it'll make $1 trillion. And my brother, quick context, he's one of the good ones. He's one of the best ones. He remembers everything. I remember nothing. He is literally mostly my brain. And I'm sort of saying to him, I was like, do you remember like this film at all? Like, do you remember, when it came out? And he remembers so much that we used to play a game when we were growing up, which was called how many lyrics can you name this song in? So like, for example, I don't know. I would say to you, how many lyrics can you name the song in? You would say 5. And I would say, I don't know, you'd say the first lyrics of the song, but just off the top of my head, you'd be like, every breath you take, every. And you get the gist. Like, you know what that is, but you'd pick like an obscure part of the song to make it difficult. And he would say like 2. And you'd be like, I don't fucking know. You'd be like, We Can. And you'd be like, Heroes by David Bowie. You'd be like, how do you know that? Like, that's how like in tune is all those things. And he could not remember this for shit. He was just like, yeah, I guess we saw it at the from the video store. Like I know we rented it. I remember renting it, but it didn't really penetrate for me the same way it penetrated you, Regan. It definitely didn't. I don't remember having the toys. I remember it being like big. And I remember there being like all sorts of, stories about the production of this and whatnot, but I don't remember it being a phenomenon the way some people do.
Yeah, I think it was probably because Mario Brothers was, it was the biggest shits ever, that game, and it's right. And like the points for effort in places, to give it like some of the prop, like Yoshi looks great and that kind of stuff, and I do enjoy the kind of the design of it in places and how they tried something. But understanding, like I even read an article about it. Yeah, it's a big swing. Yeah, I read an article about it in Wizard magazine years ago. Or Empire magazine years ago, where they talked about comics movie. They sort of talked about the troubled production and these two directors being absolute like insane totalitarian pieces of shit, and Bob Hoskins and Leguizamo got so fed up with all the script rewrites that were happening every day, they just stopped learning sides. They got drunk all the time.
They were drunk on set all the time. I love that bit of trivia about this,
which I think is probably a good way to be. I feel bad for poor sober Dennis Hopper at that point, who had to just deal with his shit.
There's a great bit of trivia that he apparently ranted at them for like 3 hours straight on set one day. He was so done with their shit. He was supposed to be on set for 4 weeks. He was on for 17 weeks.
That's crazy.
17.
He would have made bank though, because
there's the amount.
There's a lot of money. There would have been a lot of money behind this because it was, Super Mario Bros. It was kind of coming off the back of that third film, the third game, which was an absolute juggernaut. Yeah. But it's written in part by Ed Solomon, who wrote Bill and Ted and Men in Black. So there's pedigree there as well. But Dean Semler, it was the DOP. He was the DOP on Dances with Wolves, for crying out loud. Alan Silvestri wrote the score. Like, there's stuff going on here that's interesting, but it just nothing coalesces. There's no connectivity.
And how many mushrooms had they all taken before they started doing those things?
Oh, mate, just one of those big head ones that comes down like a snot. Just everyone had a lick and got back to work.
You're absolutely right. And talking about review rewind, we always do. So reviewing this,
as is our want,
reviewing this movie as it is the past. It's a hallucination nightmare. It's weird as hell, and it starts from the very moment this movie begins. Like you mentioned, all those individual things that have the opportunity to be fantastic. What the fuck is the opening to this film? It's 5 minutes of a wise guy over animated dinosaurs being like, Brooklyn,
that's the thing, like
dinosaur.
At what point have Mario and Luigi ever been referenced? I know they're supposed to be Italian, but they've never been referenced as like people who live in Brooklyn. No, there's no start of one of those games where you start in Brooklyn. Even when, he was in Donkey Kong, when the Mario was originally in Donkey Kong. Like, where the fuck is that? And do you know who that is? Who the voice is?
I don't. Who is it?
It's Dan Castanella, the guy who does Homer.
Really?
Yeah. And then the dinosaurs are from Brooklyn as well. It's like, the fucking these wise guys.
What are you doing in my space, man? What are you doing? It's the best time in the world.
It's fucking later on, wild. Luigi's like, oh, wow, there were dinosaurs in Brooklyn? I'm like, probably. Probably, dude. Before
he does a good job of making you think he's a bit of an idiot. Which is like,
poor John. Like, he's such a motherfucker, right? As well. Like, I love John Leguizamo. I think he's great.
The podcast that just does John Leguizamo films. I'm sure it's.
There must be. It'd be short, but yeah.
I think there's plenty for them to go on. The thing, just jumping on that before you carry on. The thing that is most interesting, like that's only a couple of minutes, that opening like animated section, but then you go into 30 minutes of two broke American dudes who just talk about and do real life plumbing. I'm not sure any kids who are interested in watching real life plumbing in action and two dudes been broke. If I took my nephew to see this now, he'd be like, dude, not only is this satirically off point, it does not match any of the themes of Super Mario. No, he wouldn't. He'd be like, what the fuck are you bringing me to see this for? Like, it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's the after Days of Thunder came out, huge influx of people wanting to be race car drivers. Backdraft, firemen. I guarantee you, when this movie came out, there weren't a line of people going, "Oh fuck, I want to be a plumber so bad."
Give it a plumber shot.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a plumber; it's a noble profession, and but like they're not superheroes. I'm sorry, there's not a tool for everything. At the end, when he uses a corkscrew thing to get a mystical gem out of a fucking asteroid or whatever the fuck's going on, no. The answer is no to that.
No. Absolutely not. Well, look, let's be honest. This is exactly what kids come to Super Mario games for. Accurate plumbing advice.
Isn't that they go in these like, isn't that these are all heating pipes? I'm like, so heating pipes are the same in this dimension and in the next. Why do you have a two towers? Why is there a World Trade Center in Cooperland?
Well, that's awkward, isn't it? I do remember though at the time, and you mentioned this sort of a moment ago, thinking that the Goombas were the wildest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, they are so, and like they're obviously nothing like the game, but they're clearly dudes with like, or people with like big costumes on, and then a tiny little animatronic head at the top. And I just remember thinking, what on earth are they? And then the bit that's the only bit that's really stuck with me from this movie through all of it, other than like the absolute shit show that it is the dancing Goomba scene. And then they bring it back at the end of the film. I was like, what is happening in this? This is so weird.
It's not referencing anything either. They're the loosest of threads in terms of, okay, so they're Koopa Troopers. Koopa Troopers are mushrooms with little feet and angry faces. Like, they're not fucking big, tall lizard dudes. That's the turtle guys. And even then, they're not
big, tall lizard dudes.
They're not dressed in like fucking, fascistic uniforms and stuff. Like,
they're very Nazi-esque, aren't they?
It is. They're Dino Nazis, which is actually a fucking copyright Regs. I'm writing that
movie alert, guys. We've done it. We've got a new movie
alert. Yeah.
Dino. Have you not seen? It's called like Nazis on Dinosaurs or something on the Moon. Have you not heard of that? It's like an actual film. Like,
no, I know there's one called
and they ride dinosaurs.
That sounds pretty good, actually. There's one called Velocipasta, and it's a
I desperately want to see that.
Yeah, a priest who turns into a velociraptor. But anyway, let's just go back for 1 second here and talk about our leads here. Bob Hoskins, fantastic actor. You know, he's in one of my favorite films of all time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We know he can do this stuff. John Leguizamo was coming off the back of, he was a stand-up. He'd been in sketch shows. He'd done the Pest at that point, and he would go on to have a really successful dramatic acting career as well. And he has a really great stand-up special called Spanish for Morons, or Spanish for Idiots. But anyway, Bob Hoskins, I don't know what his lineage is. I tried to look it up. He just says he's born in the UK. He might have Italian heritage. I don't know, but it seems kind of unlikely. John Leguizamo was born in Brooklyn, and he grew up in Brooklyn. But he's Colombian. Like, that's where his parents were Colombian. Really? And I think he might be a little bit Puerto Rican as well. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what, is there nobody available? Was John Turturro busy? Like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, that tracks, because the guy... So, you know, Cooper has those two minions who start off idiots, then he gives them brain powers by...
Fisher Stevens and someone else. I don't know the other actor, yeah.
One of them, I forget which one, the one with the dark hair, not the one with the very, actually, weirdly accurate 2026 cut that's shaved down the sides. The other one, who kind of looks like he's got cornrows but doesn't. He is the guy who plays the Indian guy in Short Circuit.
I have a thing about this.
Weirdest piece of trivia I've ever heard.
Isn't that fucking insane? Like, if you get, we'll get to it. I've got a note about that, and we'll come back to him, because Fisher Stevens is actually a really great actor, and he's also an incredible documentarian as well. He's made some really great Indian films. No, he's about as Indian as this movie is about Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that is a perfect reference. That is so good. I do think, coming back to the sort of talking about the things that sort of have penetrated our minds from this film and we remember all the way through, I had two notes which sort of go hand in hand and sort of different. One, Dennis Hopper's tongue used to scare the crap out of me as a kid. You know that bit where it's like...
Yeah, because he's trying to fuck this... Mushroom Girl, yeah.
But that leads into my next point, Mushroom Girl. Leads into my next point, which is, it's a weirdly horny movie for a kid's movie. Like, why is it so horny? I don't like it. It's weird. Like, it's very, like, Big Bertha. All of it.
I'd forgotten that part. It happened. I was like, oh, that's what he was talking about.
I remembered the minute I turned it on, I was thinking about what I was like, what if this is like memorable? What sticks in my brain? Obviously the bits I talked about. And then I just remember the bit where he leans forward and tries to bite the rock out of her cleavage. And I was like, that's not appropriate for kids.
Absolutely not. There's a lot of cleavage in this movie as well. Like, there's
so much cleavage.
There is. There's
on every character except Daisy.
BDSM stuff going on.
Probably a teenager, weirdly. The handshake was weird, wasn't it? You know, the bit where they're like... And if you notice, every time they do that, they ADR'd over that weird noise they make. I spotted it on the first time they did the handshake, and I was like, oh, their mouths didn't move in time with that. And every time after that. So it was clearly a decision after the fact. What Mario and Luigi need is a weird noise that goes with this handshake that's non-canonical and has nothing to do with the characters. So
they don't do that in the games?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like I said before we were recording. This movie, if you were to make Sonic the Hedgehog movie, now they made the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which is quite good. You know, I like those movies. The first and second one, anyway. If they were to make a Sonic the Hedgehog movie that had as much to do with the game Sonic the Hedgehog as Mario Brothers movie has to do with the game, it would just be a documentary about someone following around a real hedgehog with no narration or anything, just footage of a hedgehog doing its hedgehog shit.
And that's not a lot of things. I don't know if you know anything about hedgehogs. They do nothing. They literally like just plod along, eat a little bit, and roll up if you get too close to them.
And they don't collect coins.
No.
Or rings.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe magpies do. Maybe they're in collusion with the magpies. We worked it out, Regan. We did it.
There's another movie there, Magpie Collusion. Copyright Tommy and Regs.
What was the first one we made up? Because I like that one. It was something like dinosaur Nazis.
It was Dino Nazis or something like that. Yeah, they come back and they're all dinosaurs. It's like, oh, fuck, we got to fight this battle again.
Oh, God, we got to do this shit again.
Brendan Fraser could be in it.
But ironically, if the T-Rex, and I'm not going to do it, but if the T-Rex was trying to do the You know the thing I'm trying to do. So it's like if you're hailing a taxi, your hands up here, and if you're petting a dog, your hands down here. That grey area.
It's in the grey area, yeah.
A T-Rex trying to do that would be pretty funny.
You wouldn't notice, would you? Is that one a Nazi? I can't tell. Is he wearing a costume?
I don't know. His weird costume.
A Nazi costume, by the way. It's not a uniform. It's a costume. Yeah. Oops.
On a dinosaur. I mean, all the politicians in the US about him. Quick
that
question.
Dinosaur's wearing joggers. He must be.
What's then your most memorable scene from this? Like, what's the thing that stands out, like in hindsight, when you've been watching it back?
Honestly, from as a kid, it was, what's he fucking doing where he puts his hands in wax?
Yeah.
And he's like...
And he's walking around like this. He's like,
he doesn't like germs or something.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Didn't know what happened there. Yeah, it was a bit strange. But also probably where they... like in terms of the scenes that I remember, you're right, the dancing in the elevator is pretty...
That was definitely the one for me.
Present in my mind.
And the fact that it comes back later in the end as well. You know, like at the end where Cooper's he's confronting the Mario brothers in the street for some reason. And then the one starts playing the harmonica and you're just like, oh, they're dancing again. That's I'm not going to say a nice callback. That's a callback to a thing that doesn't really make sense in this movie.
But they talk about it as if it's an ongoing problem with these fucking monsters, as if, oh no, they start dancing and then we don't get any work done. Like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where the hyena or the jackals keep laughing and then kill themselves.
I love that. We need to put that movie on our movies to go back on our
list.
That's
like my third favorite movie of all time.
It's so good. And I haven't watched it in so many years. I look forward to doing that with you.
That's Bob Hoskins, baby. He absolutely is like, you know, the man can do the work. He can act against nothing, or he can act against something silly. Like and to give him and Leguizamo credit, like they show up. They're trying. Totally. And it might have been the booze,
they're in
but
it.
Still.
They're definitely in it. But so is Dennis Hopper. I think Dennis Hopper's the one who's probably got the most skin in the game for this. He's really chewing that scenery. He's like, you could tell. I mean, King Cooper, Bowser, it's neither of those things. And then at the end, it's a big T-Rex in a bucket for some reason. Like, whatever he's doing.
Another movie, T-Rex in a bucket. Stop, that's ours.
we should get T-shirts made of all.
Of all the movies that we've come up with on this show, these are all the names of movies you can't have.
I can't think of anyone who would buy a Nazi dinosaur T-shirt. I'm sorry, it's just unfortunately not going to happen. I will
It'd certainly be a conversation piece, though, wouldn't it? Like someone coming to go, I'm sorry. Are you in support of both of those things or only together? I need context here. And then you're like, hey, check out the back. And it says, No Country for Old Films podcast does not support Nazis, but does support dinosaurs.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we could put that in the front as well, just because I don't want people thinking that I support Nazis. Which I started asking you this question a couple of podcasts ago, and I kind of want to bring it back because it's kind of relevant to now and what we were talking about. Which is the best kill in this? Because for a kids movie, there's a surprising amount of death in this film.
Yeah,
or at least turning people regenerating is the wrong word. What does he do? He reverts them back to their primordial states, de-evolves them. Which is your favorite?
In
this kids
the one
movie.
that's brutal and the one that I kind of remember the most is when the fucking woman stabs Yoshi in the neck.
Isn't that brutal?
He's
such a cute character.
I know. But probably I would say, when Dennis Hopper just turns into goo. Like, wouldn't he turn into an egg if he was being de-evolved?
I don't know.
Or did that, and to bring it back to like what seems to be on brand for us, is that just dinosaur cum? Like, is that what he gets? Does he get devolved all the way to the point to
We've
dino?
Come back full circle.
Spunk.
Maybe he should have gone all the way back to being his father, so it's gone even further back. I gotta say, I think it's Fiona Shaw when she gets zapped and she becomes. Fiona Shaw is the love interest sort of for Cooper, and she becomes what I can only equate to the scene in Home Alone when Marv gets zapped. She becomes a skeleton version of that. You know the bit where he flicks into a skeleton. It's that on a wall,
but she's actually a dead skeleton embedded in a rock, and Luigi has the line, she really made an impression. Okay, all right, who wrote this?
Some of the one-liners, honestly, are so bad in this. They are just like...
You know what took me by surprise?
Sickening.
How fucking casually she just throws out, I was abandoned during dinner. Oh, yeah, I was abandoned. Holy shit. We're going to unpack this at the fucking Italian restaurant right now,
Let's bring
Daisy?
the sofa in, lay down. We need to talk this through like shrinks. It's perfectly fine. There's some weird, like, tonal changes in this movie. Because up to that point, like, it is about plumbing. But it's kind of fun and it's kind of a romp. And, well, we're always late. That other team always gets there first. How do they always beat us? Yeah, and then all of a sudden she comes out with this tonal shift that's just like, I was abandoned. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, hang on a second. We haven't even had the fucking mozzarella sticks yet. Can we not be talking about our childhood trauma? Let's wait to the dessert. Let's wait to the fucking flan, and then we'll talk about how our parents fucked us up. And the falling in love with
John Leguizamo and her is just so weird. Like, wait, isn't Mario supposed to end up with the princess?
Well, it's kind of his movie, like it becomes John Leguizamo's movie. He's got the line, anything's impossible, you just have to believe. Nothing's impossible. You just have to believe.
He is Luigi Mario, so maybe that's the point. Maybe it's because it's Mario, and Luigi Mario. Maybe it's the Mario Bros movie, as in like it's his movie. We've done it, Regan. We've worked it out. Maybe this is how Luigi sees the world. Mario sees it all as like fun, pixelated art, whereas he's like, it's a terrifying nightmare. Why is everybody on mushrooms? Let's talk about the modern rewatch verdict a little bit because we kind of have been. We kind of have. We mostly have. Let's be perfectly honest.
Well, I mean, I would like to talk just briefly about Fisher Stevens.
Let's do it. That's perfect for modern
like I do like him a lot. He was great in Hackers. He's great in that. But as Tommy mentioned, and I'm sure this will become a reel, so put in this footage. Fisher Stevens in the 80s or perhaps early 90s was in a film called Short Circuit where he played an Indian
blackface.
In blackface, he played an Indian scientist, right? Okay. Ben Kingsley won an Academy Award for playing Gandhi in brownface. Ben Kingsley, to my understanding, does have some heritage, like from that part of the world. Fisher Stevens absolutely does not. And I can never, ever, ever, ever get over it when someone pointed it out to me that he was the dude. And I don't think, it must have been Hackers. Like, oh, that's the dude from Short Circuit. I'm like, the dude from Short Circuit's Indian, you fucking idiot.
Which one? Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, no, he was playing Indian. I'm like, what do you mean he was playing Indian? And then they showed it to me. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, how does he read that script and go, shouldn't you get an Indian actor to play this? There's heaps of them. In fact, there's probably more of them than there is American actors. Do you want to try it? No, we're just going to go, brown face. Okay, cool. No worries.
I find it so weird that, whitewashing's been happening in cinema for longer than we've been alive. I just find it so confusing. Like, there has to be a good actor who can do that. There has to be. Like, I'm just going to throw it out there, Regan. I'm just going to throw it out there. Have him as a white character.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard?
There's nothing about that story. There's nothing about the story of Short Circuit that needs him to be Indian. Yeah, it's not like the only thing it is because I believe he could be a scientist because Indian people are notoriously very intelligent. What the fuck? Like, why don't you have him be Italian and have a huge big mustache because it makes about as much sense as this shit? Fuck. Bob Hoskins might be Italian. You know what he's absolutely not? Colombian, which John Leguizamo fucking is. Sorry, everyone. It's been a hell of a week watching this Mario Brothers.
It's a new segment of the show we like to bring back. It's interesting. It's interesting because this is this is in a time in cinema where Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming out, all these films, and they're sort of making weirdly dystopian, sort of like very hyper realistic versions of these comic book, video game, whatever you want to look at, non-film like media.
Sure.
So I wonder if this is their we've talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on this podcast. Go back and listen to our episode. I wonder if that's what has influenced this, because I can't think of anything else that could push them down this direction other than the fact that the directors worked on Max Headroom, which is a reference that very few people under the age of 40
I get it. I'm with you. Yeah. That's crazy. Like, I didn't even sort of put those things, because Ninja Turtles was 92, wasn't it?
Was it 91 or 92?
It was 91. So yeah, I mean, it probably they were like, hey, they did the kind of realistic shit and made a whole bunch of cash. Yeah, I don't know. But also, like, it was invented by a Japanese dude.
Yeah.
There's what? Maybe that should be set in Japan? I don't know. There's so many possibilities.
Canonically, Mario is 25. So they take
that's a
take
hard
from
25.
that what you will.
That's a 1970s 25 where he's probably lived through the back half of the war. His dad got PTSD or shell shock at the time, whatever, and he's only been drinking Bovril.
Too much.
He hasn't had a glass of water till he was about 19.
Doesn't even know what water is.
No, he just eats
a pipe with it in.
Yeah.
I think there's so much of this movie that watching back, and again, this is me just writing random notes as I'm watching it. I love it. Significantly older man than than I first watched it, and a lot of it is so fascinating. Like the set design, even in the real world, even in the Mario Brothers real world, I was like, what are we doing here? Because like you look at their apartment and there are plungers on the wall. I'm like, are they used? Do they like go?
Yeah, that's gross.
Do they? Is this like a wall of like? Yeah, like is this like the best of? Is this like the one you used for the best jobs? You took the biggest shit out of the toilet.
Are these the best uncloggers you've ever done? Like, was it a shit the size of a small otter, and you managed to get it out?
And why is it on the wall? Does the apartment just smell like shit all the time? Like, what is happening in this film? And then you look at things like when you get to the Dino Hatton or whatever it's called in this film, and it's gross. I mean, it is just Blade Runner with goo everywhere. That's literally what it is. And the scene that I zoned in on, and I was watching, and I was like, this is weird. I mean, all of it, but like the club scene. You know when Mario and Luigi go and they have to steal back the rock from Big Bertha? And I'm watching it and I'm like, I think I even texted you this at the time. I'm like, at what point in the video games did Mario get seduced by a large black woman? Like, at what point does that happen? Point me in the direction of that part of the game because I want to play it right now. I was like, what is happening? And he's dressed in all yellow for some reason, like head to toe with yellow gloves. And then he escapes. I'm like, he's there. He's the only person who's head to toe in bright yellow. I can see him. How can you not?
He's dressed like a bottle of mustard.
And then she falls for him. The whole thing is fascinating. And I'm meaning to be talking about the sets here, because I actually think the sets are pretty cool. Like, it's cool seeing like how much
it's well constructed. Yeah, there was some good technicians on set.
But none of it makes sense. None of it. Like, not a single point of it.
And I'm not sure if that was the idea or if they just, it was being put together so piece by piece every day, rewriting and, new scenes and new gags and all that stuff that there was no coherence or no cohesion to anything. I think that's probably the case. Like you said, there's some interesting ideas here, but it's for another movie, like not Mario Brothers. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. It should never be live action, basically. That's my feeling. Like, it obviously works in animation, especially now, even though they didn't cast a fucking Italian dude again. But it definitely works better. And to like I said before, to the fucking sound of $1 billion, and the galaxy will make twice as much, I'm sure of it. But yeah, it just doesn't. I don't understand how you look at it and go, yeah, let's put real people in this. Yeah,
look, we're not talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023. I think we talked about it on podcast. I don't know whatever it is.
Sure.
That film, so technically, cool. Like what they did. Not Italian again, still. Kind of liked it. But I feel like they went, this movie is like what we're talking about now, 993, is too adult. Let's swing wildly back the other way and have absolutely nothing for adults. Now, we grew up in the 90s and late 80s. The thing that was great about kids' movies was that there was always a little something for the dads. You know what I mean? 100%. There was a bit of blue. It was thrown in there. There was one or two jokes. There was a thing that was a reference to something that would go way over the kid's head. I'm trying to think of a good enough top of my head. I can't. There's
the one from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where she gets attacked by a bunch of ninjas and she says, "What am I behind on my Sony payments again?" Perfect. Yes, it is 1990s racist, but it's still a joke that a kid's not going to get.
Right, exactly. And this 1993 movie is all weirdly adult things for a child audience. And the new one that came out was there was none of that. There was none of the blue for the dad. There was no like silly little reference that, you know, like was for to keep adults entertained, right? That was kind of the point of it. It's like if you're taking your kid to the movies, you want the adults to at least have some skin in the game, so they will go and see it. So that you know, a dad might say to his mate, "Oh, by the way, there's this funny joke. Watch out for it." Whatever, you know what I mean? Like
every 7 minutes, there's an erection joke or something. Yeah,
right. The 2023 one was so sterile, and I feel like whoever was making it was told, do nothing like that to that 1993 movie because that fucked us. You know?
Yeah. It's definitely movie by committee, and I don't like. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to its quality. It doesn't really interest me. But I think it's probably going to be. It's a product. It's not. You know, they're not. Totally. No one's out there going, "Oh, I've really got an amazing Mario story to tell, and it's going to talk about who we are as people and love and death and life and lust and all that. And it's going to be amazing." But it's Mario Brother Galaxy and all. That's not happening. They're going, "How can we get fucking children and their parents into a multiplex so that we can make money?
How can we make it bright enough?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Can we do it in 3D? How are we going to make this, you know, what subtle things are we going to do to give people the cue to go and buy the game? You know, all of that shit. At least here someone sat down and went, you know what, I'm going to try and make this something. I'm going to try and make this interesting for everybody.
And then they took a shitload of shrooms and it went weird. My last thing I want to mention before we move on to a couple of other pieces is, did you know that Arnold Schwarzenegger, they wanted him for Cooper, which is again a very different movie.
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah. Sure. Look at him. You look at him, and we'll obviously do this one day. But Batman and Robin, right? He is the only one who did the reading. Right. To be fair, it was him and Uma Thurman, right? They're both playing it huge. Playing it so big, and that's work. That totally works. And this movie could have used some of that energy. You know what I mean?
It could have used some kid-friendly energy, absolutely, because this is not at all kid-friendly.
No.
Regan, would you like some miscellaneous notes, or do you have anything else to say about this?
No, I can't wait for your miscellaneous.
Okay, I've got some this time, and I think you're going to like all of these.
Excellent.
My first one was, you know the bit when they sort of go into a weird desert, and for some reason they're not in the city, and the whole world outside of the city is just a desert. The only thing I could think of is they got to the end of the map. You ever played a video game, you go to the end of the map and you're just like, oh, there's nothing here. Or you come against a brick wall and you just can't move.
And you're like, oh, this isn't infinite.
A weird thing.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing happening. Harry Potter's aunt is a lizard. Creepily horny. Very strange. Not sure why.
Who is it?
It's Aunt Petunia. It's Aunt Petunia from the Harry Potter movies, Fiona Shaw.
Is it? I haven't seen those. I've seen like the first two, and that was it.
Yeah, no, you don't. I mean, she's in them, but you don't need to worry about it. It was just a thing I thought of while I was watching this film. Yeah. There's a scene when Mario is.
You look like Harry Potter grown up.
Fuck you.
No, that's a compliment. But like, you know, you mastered your wizardry. You got over your trauma. You got some
Wingardium Leviosa.
You got some, plastic surgery, got rid of their shits, and you're just having a really nice time living out there in the world with your wizardry powers. And you also went to the gym.
He's very thank you. I appreciate that. He's very rich, so I'm not that. So that's a thing. I would like to be. That'd be nice. If people want to give us money, you're more than welcome to.
Why is Harry Potter rich?
It's canonical. Like his parents were rich. He's a nepo baby, is what he is.
Jesus, if there was more reasons not to like that shit. Sorry, I'm getting off track.
I'm getting off track again, but I have to say this very quickly. There is a very so there's a new TV show coming out of Harry Potter, right? Like it's coming out at the end of the year. It's a new
TV show, is it?
It's a TV show now. Okay. It's going to be I think it's HBO. Like, effectively, they want to milk their cash cow some more. So one of the big controversies about this TV show is that they have cast probably the only character outside of Harry who they have a full description for in the books as being sallow-skinned and with greasy dark hair as a black person. Now, I don't give a shit. Cast who you want. It was Alan Rickman previously, who is a wonderful actor. Probably can't best what he did in that. It's
absolutely not.
It's a person who just was a role, right? So, like, you know what? Try something different. Fuck it. Do what you want. The funniest part of this whole thing is, like, Harry Potter, Nepo baby. Dad, Nepo baby. Snape went to school with Harry's dad. The thing that you find out in the books, and if you've never read or seen Harry Potter, children, I'm sorry to tell you this, Harry Potter's dad wasn't always the perfect person. He used to bully Snape. Now, that's a problem when it's a rich white person bullying a black person who is... like he's not as rich, he's not as financially well off, he was mistreated by his family. It makes it rather problematic, and I just can't wait to get to that part of the show and be like, wow, this is fucking really awkward.
I wonder if they've thought that through. I'm like, did you read the books? Did you read the fucking books? Because it's clearly this is going to be about a fucking class war now.
Man, there are so many layers to that we don't have time to get into. Anyway, sorry, Harry Potter's aunt's a lizard. That's the thing. Yep. There's a scene in this film. We're now talking about Mario. Sorry to divert from Harry Potter there, which we will talk about at some point because that was actually a big part of my youth.
Your youth.
There is a scene when Mario is breaking his girlfriend out of Cooper's whatever it is complex. What is he, a real estate mogul? Like, what is his deal? I don't know. And they do it by freezing.
He was a real estate mogul. Well, fuck, he might end up president.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Isn't that some sort of a real life mirroring? And they're doing it. They're going down on a mattress. And my brain just said, "Is this Mario Kart? Is that a thing? Is that anything?" I don't think it is, but it's what my brain said at the time. I think that's.
I don't think Mario Kart sort of rose to the level of popularity that it did until N64 came out.
Okay. Well, I felt like that was their subtle hint towards there being a Mario Kart coming out, or Aladdin. Who knows? And the fuck is wrong
again?
with me today?
We're talking about Bob Hoskins is definitely not Middle Eastern.
He is
so
not.
He can't. Bob Hoskins cannot be Aladdin.
Nor was the guy who voiced Aladdin, though. He's incredibly white. Like, I don't know if you know. Look, we're getting way off topic. Last miscellaneous note, we will move on. I promise people. We've been doing this for fucking 4 hours.
Diversion, the podcast, yeah.
Jen Leguizamo, that's a different person. John Leguizamo and Daisy, let's say hypothetically they end up together. What race are their children? Like, what breed are they? Are they lizards? Are they mammals? Like, what is happening?
Dinorican.
Dinorican.
Yeah, Dinorican. That's the kind of shit that's so obscure, nobody's coming up to ask about it.
Nobody's going to ask what they're like, what the fuck is happening here? I do also.
Is it a band? It must be a band.
Final miscellaneous note, I do love that this ends on a cliffhanger, which is, like, as arrogant as these directors were. It's like the most arrogant part of this whole film. Like, Daisy
you're never going to believe this.
Like, you got to come back with me. And Mario's like, I don't care. Let's go back into this weird fungus place. Fuck you.
Yep.
What a weird movie, man. Like,
I can't move, everyone. We hope you watched
Kat
it again.
Sat down with me for like half. I had to watch it over 2 sittings. The cat sat down with me for half it, and she was like,
divorce, and left.
She just made that face, like,
yeah. No, she leans over, like, you're sitting there just like this, just like completely disaffected by this movie, and she leans over really close to your ear and goes, "You're wasting your life," and leaves. But babe, it's for the podcast.
Please subscribe, people.
I stand by my shit.
Not wasting my life.
Yes, please let everybody know. Please let Tommy's partner know that we're doing this and we're very good at it, because otherwise it does seem like we might be fucking wasting our time with this one. We hope you enjoyed it if you rewatched it for the show. It's a bit of an oddity. Maybe do some shrooms when I'm not advocating drug use, but enjoy yourselves,
Try something different. It might make it a different experience.
Yeah.
Do you have a little game show for me this week, Regan?
I do. It's a good one. I'm very excited about it. It's called De-Evolution, baby! I'm just freaking out the audience. Okay. Nah, you'll be good. It's mostly questions about Mario Brothers, because I couldn't find any real puns to go for it. So, but it's De-Evolution, baby, and we're ready to play. We've got Tommy here, and he's just got a fucking huge mushroom erection going on. It's amazing. Okay. Question number 1.
Yes,
What's
sir.
that?
It is you who brings up erections and cum and anal beads.
It fucking is, and I'm sorry about it. It's not the only podcast I have where that happens either. So there's a whole slew of content on the internet of me being absolutely pornographic. All right.
How much of this will make it into the final cut? Who knows at this point? Tell me your question.
I'm the editor. I don't give a shit. Okay. Question number 1. Which Mario Brothers game introduced the raccoon suit?
Jesus Christ. You know I'm going to get none of this. The raccoon suit. Is it just the one where you can fire the weird little things out of his mouth?
It's where you can fly.
Oh, fuck.
With the tail, and it goes...
Surely that's like 3.
Well done.
Yes!
It is. It absolutely is. Well done, you little fucking go-getter.
Who knew it? I get one right.
You do. Okay.
I have a question for you at the end of this, actually. We will. Okay, we'll wait till the end. Go.
Is it Mario Brothers related?
Yeah, it is. It's
awesome. Okay. Mario Brothers 2, which canonically is a dream.
Correct.
It's all the second one, yeah, but it's also it's almost like a different platform. And everybody looks different. And you sort of pull like radishes out of the ground and throw them at people, and it's really fucking odd by comparison.
And was that on the NES?
I had it on just Super Nintendo.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe it was just on regular Nintendo. Fuck, I'm old.
Mario on Game Boy. Go on.
When we used to do it back with the Magic Lantern show.
Once in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, question number 2 was, Super Mario Brothers 2 came out in which year? 1988, 1990, or 1991?
That's a really tough question. Super Mario Bros. 2. What do we think? I'm going to go with the first one, 1998.
He did it again, everybody. Shit and piss. Okay. I don't know why it matters if you don't win. It's not.
I love that you're behind me. It's wonderful. I
have a
support
great.
Makes me feel great.
I have a really great if you get to a certain amount of points over the course of the season, there's a really, really great prize. You're going to love it.
You keep saying a season. This is an ongoing podcast. There is no season.
No, but I need in order to have I need there to be a season so that I can gauge this, and then
when
do it.
When you get to a certain amount of episodes. Got it.
I know what I'm doing. Don't even worry about it.
I'm glad.
Mario, question number 3. I know what I'm doing for this game show.
Yeah.
Not in life. Yeah.
For one thing.
Yeah, if I've got this, I've got my sanity. Question number 3. Mario first appeared in which arcade game?
I'm pretty sure it's Donkey Kong.
The Donkey Kong. That's absolutely right.
He wasn't the character was Man.
No, he's called Jumpman.
Jumpman, that's right. Jumpman. Yeah. That's right. I was close.
Well done. That's 3 for 3, dog. All right.
Who knew it? This is the episode I'm getting stuff right.
Yeah, of all the movies, we've done movies that you fucking love.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember shit, like fucking Robin Hood. Wild.
Question number 4. Which vegetable is known as meat for vegetarians?
What the fuck is happening in this?
Come on, it's got to be easy. Think about
Radish? Didn't you say it before?
No!
What is it?
I'm going to give you another chance.
I have no idea. Meat for vegetarians.
Mushrooms!
Ah, fuck.
You fucking idiot!
You really threw me by saying radish 30 seconds ago. I was like,
you might have
gotten about radishes again.
5 out of 5 if you hadn't have fucked that up.
Oh my god. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right, idiot. You see what I mean? You throw me.
Yep, that's
pretty,
what I do.
Pretty big eyes.
That's. It's a love story. Okay. Question number 5, final question. Who is the best character to use when playing the OG Mario Kart on Super 64?
Ooh, I'm going to have to refer to my beautiful partner's play choice and say Toad.
Well done. That was legitimately what I had written down as well.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
going to give you a point no matter what, but it's actually what I had written down.
Well done, Tommy. She plays as that every single time.
Yes, he's faster. You sure he can get banged around a bit, but if you're quick, it doesn't matter,
Okay, now in unusual territory here, I have a question for you to give me a bonus point.
Okay.
So I have a reverse question. So if you get it right, I get a bonus point. There's no, I don't know. There's double jeopardy. Should I lose a point if I don't? I don't know, whatever. So this technically 1993 Super Mario Brothers wasn't the very first iteration of a feature-length Super Mario Brothers anything.
Mm-hmm.
There was, in fact, a Japanese-only release, hour-long, equally fever dream animated film, which came out around the same time as the first video game was released. Can you guess for me, did it come out in 1982, 1983, or 1986?
It would have had to have been 86.
It was 86, and I found out about this the other day. I follow a fantastic channel on YouTube called Nerdstalgic, and they did a whole 10-minute video on it, and it is weird and wild, and it's everything. It's fantastic.
Excellent. Well, I'm not going to change the scores at all. I'm going to relieve you of a point for that. I'm just going to I'm fucking awesome.
My final question to you is, Riggs, if you could remove this movie from your life. You know what, actually, let's make it 2 questions. 1, if you could remove it from your life, would you? And 2, if you could remove it from your life and do it all over again, would you?
The answer is...
pick your flavor.
The answer is no. The answer is yes to remove it from my life.
The answer is maybe.
Because it's an hour and a half. Like, I had to watch it before rehearsal, long. And I turned up to rehearsal just completely deflated yesterday. I was like, for fuck's sake with this goddamn mushroom shits. And so yes, and no, I wouldn't want to remove it so that I could watch it again, like, Alzheimer's style. No.
Butterfly Effect. Is this not Butterfly Effect? What's the one with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet? It's gone from
Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine style. Have we been too harsh on this film? I don't think so. Everyone, thank you if you made it this far. We really appreciate you, new and old listeners. Thank you so much for coming back to the podcast. Thank you for joining us for another fantastic episode of No Country for Old Films, where we revisit the films you love. If there's a film that we haven't talked about that you'd like us to, and a film that blossoms nostalgia in your mind, find us on the socials. You can find us at No Country for Old Films on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. You can email us at nocountryforoldfilms@gmail.com. And while you're doing it, drop us a follow, a like, a subscribe, 5 stars, all the stuff. We put a lot of hard work into this. We watch films like this, goddammit, so you don't have to. This week, I know this film's getting a cult following right now, and there is obviously a new one coming out in the cinema, so it was fantastic to go back and watch it. But we want to know what you think about it. Drop a comment in the thing, wherever it is. Tell us if it's your favorite childhood film. I'll be baffled, and Regan will be baffled, but we'd love to hear it. Huge thank you, as always, to the phenomenal Wiley Risso for our fantastic podcast artwork. You can find him on Instagram at Wiley Risso. Thank you so much for Johnny, one of the real ones, for our theme music. We just...
JP!
It's just our podcast. It's fantastic. And again, tell us your memories of this film. Was it your favorite childhood film? Pop in the comments below. We'd love it if you would. All that engagement apparently helps with things. Regan, don't you dare forget to rewind before returning.
Never.